For the first time ever, the EPA is taking steps to test for and eliminate forever chemicals in our drinking water. 5 on your side's Holden Kerwicki is in Wood River, Illinois. That's one of several communities identified by a watchdog group as having elevated levels. So Holden, if you live in that area, how concerned should you be?
Well, and according to the Environmental Working Group, every living being has traces of these forever chemicals in their bodies. And that's why the EPA is beginning a years-long process to try and remove these chemicals from our water system.
Over the last 70 years, forever chemicals have been introduced into items we use on a daily basis.
Even though many Americans may not have heard of PFAS, you've certainly come into contact with them. They're very widely used chemicals on products like nonstick pans, food packaging, some cosmetics, water repellent clothing.
According to Melanie Benish, vice president of the Environmental Working Group, those same chemicals are building up in our drinking water.
PFAS chemicals are highly toxic. They're toxic in very low amounts. They have been in Americans' drinking water for decades.
Since there is no safe level of PFAS, the EPA is requiring water providers to test for 6 different types of forever chemicals in an effort to remove them from the water system.
This is actually the first time that the EPA has been able to use their authority under the 1996 amendments to the Safe Drinking Water Act to regulate new contaminants. So it is historic on a number of levels. But most importantly, it means that the drinking water coming out of the tap is going to be safer for more than 100 million Americans.
Though the EPA listed Wood River Refinery as one of more than 220 chemical producers, an EPA spokesperson clarified that the refinery does not release these forever chemicals into the environment.
You can use a chemical and use it responsibly.
As utilities across the country work to stop the spread of PFAS in our water.
In fact, they are so ubiquitous and so pervasive in the environment that nearly every living thing has some amount of PFAS in their blood.
However, Benish says there are steps you can take to protect yourself.
Really, there's no reason not to filter your water at home as well, particularly as we are waiting for these regulations to take effect.
The EPA is opening up $1 billion in funding to provide testing across the country. Utilities now have 3 years to provide that testing data to the EPA and 5 years to come into full compliance. Reporting live in Wood River, Illinois, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.